Welcome, Pewter Report readers, listeners, and viewers to another edition of Touchback Tuesdays. As always, I'm your host, JC Allen. I've got a very special guest with me. He is your all-pro right tackle, the man who protects Tom Brady the best he can, and he does a pretty dang good job at it. He is Mr. Tristan Wirfs. Very excited to have him on today. Tristan, how are we doing?
Oh, not so bad.
Happy to have you on here, man. Happy to chop it up with you. Obviously, not the best outcome that we wanted on Sunday, but it's just another chance to get better, look at what happened on tape, improve, and move forward. There's still plenty of football left, but, we kind of have to get into it a little bit. So the Steelers' defensive line, it looks like they were just moving all over the place. What kind of looks did they give you that caused confusion along the O-line on Sunday?
Well, I mean, we knew they were going to do different like stemming and stuff pre-snap. But I think it's just all of us five got to be on the same page when they do that. The mic could change. Kind of change where we're going to, where our double teams are going to be going. So like going into it, we knew it was gonna happen. But at the same time, just with, you got to end up being on the same page, before the snap.
Right, and chemistry has been something that's been talked about going all the way back, in mini camp and in OTAs and everything like that. And talking to you guys individually, you feel like the chemistry is there. But do you think you're at this? Are you almost to the point where you're knowing what the other guys are thinking? I mean, if you look at it, Gedecke's played with 3 different left tackles with a brand new center. You're playing with everyone's playing with someone brand new next to them that they haven't played before. How do you accelerate that chemistry and that communication process?
I think it's just reps, being comfortable with the guy next to you. And yeah, like you said, Luke's played with 3 different tackles this year. So just getting comfortable and getting the communication that you guys need down and getting it on the same page together. So it's tough, but I think the O-line meeting together, like post practice and everything, just by ourselves, watching tape together, figuring out what we want to say in certain situations, and if we all think it looks the same, just stuff like that. I think it's going to really help in the long run.
So you guys having a lot of the players only meetings where you're kind of self-scouting, self-coaching, and trying to get back up to speed to where you think you should be?
Yeah, after we're done with meetings for the day, like just with the coaches and everything, we'll be like, hey, let's stick around for 20 minutes, watch this together, just us, just trying to get on the same page.
Now, back you rewind into your rookie season, obviously 2020, there wasn't the ability to do that. There wasn't ability to go out and have that bonding exercises as an offensive line. I know you guys all went out to lunch or something a couple weeks ago. You guys were ragging on Shaq for always being late. That was pretty funny. But how important is that to building that chemistry as well?
I think that's huge. Yeah, like my rookie year, we weren't able to have all that, but we did our best, and I think those guys really took me in. They've been playing together for a little while, and I was the new guy. So this year, being able to have that, we started doing it in camp. On our off day, we'd go to lunch or something, and now we keep it up every. On Thursdays we go out, have O-line dinner. So, I think that's huge. For an offensive line, especially with new guys, new pieces, just building that bond between all 5 of us.
Right. And looking at it, you just kind of said it. You're that older guy now on that line. You're that, at least from a time length standpoint, how long you've been playing on it. Obviously, Donnie's been there longer, but and Shaq's been in the league longer. But, you look at those guys and how much do they lean on you? How much do you bring that, I don't want to say necessarily mentorship, but, experienced what the coaches like, what they want, what Tom likes, etc. How much do they lean on you for like advice like that and stuff like that?
I think it's just, that's a good one. I think it's kind of getting to a point because like my rookie year, it was like Cap and Allie were like the guys that like
right.
with Tom and like, hey, this is like what we like and this, just stuff like that. And now with Hainsey, like Hainsey's so smart, so it's kind of been like me, Hainsey, and Shaq. And it's kind of all 4. Me, Hainsey, Shaq, and Donnie are like, we're doing our best to just, be on the same page with Tom, and get him stuff that we like and what we think will help us in the run game. And so just trying to do all that together, but, just doing our best to get Luke, bring Luke along too. So I wouldn't say it's just one of us or just 2 of us.
You got the doggo over there?
Yeah.
We love doggos. We love doggos. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I'm trying to keep him entertained. But just just doing our best to get stuff we like to Tom. When we have our Friday run meetings too after practice, just us and just the offense. And I think those have been helpful. We did those last year, so just trying to keep that up too.
Now I got to bring it up. There was one play where it was a running play. Ogunjobi looked like he got the jump on you. Maybe he just jumped, cut to the outside, maybe caught you leaning a little bit, and made a stuff in the backfield. What happened on that play? I don't know if you looked back at it yet.
Yeah. No, I mean he made a good play. I just wasn't expecting him to have a big move outside like that. I think we had 4 or 5 double teams where he was doing a drop knee. So I was just looking, me and Shaq were just looking to get some movement, and I think I probably got up on my toes a little bit. And yeah, he made a good play.
You can't be perfect every play. You're damn near close, but can't be perfect every play. Obviously tough loss. You go in the locker room. You're on the road. You've had success on the road so far, and this was, by all means, you never overlook an opponent. Never. Any given Sunday, one of the greatest lines, one of the greatest movies there ever, because literally it can happen to anybody. The Jets upset the Packers, and the Giants upset the Packers. So anytime it could happen, but this was a game most people thought, obviously Vegas thought you guys should go in and win. You end up dropping the game by 2 points. It's your second game, you lost by 2 points. Same thing that happened to the Packers. What was the message in that locker room afterwards from Bowles? Was there any, was it downtrodden? Was there any? Okay, what was that like? What was the attitude like in the locker room after the game?
I think it was just a lot of we got to stop talking about stuff. I think it's been 3 weeks now where it's like saying we got to do this, saying we got to do that, and now we have to go out and do it. Like we can't keep just saying it anymore. Eventually something's got to give, and we got to figure out what to do and how that can, how we can actually go do it.
And speaking on figuring out what to do and how to do it, struggles in the run game. What's going on there? Because I mean, this obviously the bread and butter of this offense is a passing offense. You got Tom Brady, you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, some really Hall of Fame caliber players. But the run game has had some struggles in getting going. What's been going on with that?
I don't know. It's been kind of frustrating because like I said, we're like we come out and we practice hard. The O-line, we meet extra. We have our run meetings on Friday just to make sure all position groups are on the same page.
Right.
So it's just that's the frustrating part. Is I don't really know. So it's just we're trying to do our best. Like we were watching tape yesterday and just seeing what we can do, like what more we can do to be better and try and get this thing turned around. So it's frustrating, but I'm not sure.
Do you think predictability has any saying that? Obviously, you guys want to get a hat on a hat and push and impose your will, but you look at on Twitter, all around everywhere, there's been a lot of talk about these first down runs that keep on happening that set you guys up in a disadvantageous position on second and third down. Do you think predictability, teams know that, okay, they want to run it on first down, they're going to run it on first down majority of the time? Do you think that has any effect on the inability to get the run going, especially on early downs?
It could be, but at the same time, if they know what we're going to do, if they don't know what we're going to do, like we still got to go out there and execute. And like you said, we still got to go get push. So it's just that's what's frustrating is it's just there's so many things it could be. Like there's so many things that it couldn't be. But I don't know. It is really frustrating.
Absolutely. I can only imagine. I got to ask about it. There was a video going viral in the game. Brady came over. He was barking pretty loudly at you guys. What was the message there? What was he saying? We heard part of it, telling you guys that you can play, you're playing, you can play way better than this, something along those lines. You guys are better than this and how you're playing. What was that message? Well, what else was he saying there to you guys to try to get you guys fired up?
He was pretty much saying that that we can be better. The O-line needs to be better. Got to come out faster because I've said it a ton of times. It starts with us up front, and that's kind of what he was just saying. We got to get this thing going, and just telling us we got to be better. And I think we all agreed. we just got to go out there and execute.
Right, exactly. Easier said than done sometimes. But you did see a little bit of a turnaround in the second half, and I think that's been part of the strong suit. Especially with a guy like Luke coming in there. It seems like he can have some struggles early on, but as the game wears on, he finds his footing a little bit more. And is able to kind of get his legs underneath him in protection. Brady always says that, he shows you guys articles and people talking, down on you guys. The media doubting you. Does that motivate you guys as a line? How does that motivate you guys as a line?
Well, I remember he sent one to Goody, and then Goody sent it to us. And
Hi, doggo. Hi, doggo. What's the dog's name?
this is Blue.
Hey, what's up, Blue?
He's just a big baby. But he sent one to us. Oh my goodness, get out of here!
Hey, we love doggo friendly show. Doggo friendly.
He sent one to Goody, and Goody sent it to us, just trying to pretty much just an article saying that how new we are and how we haven't established anything yet, just stuff like that. And I think it kind of motivates us, but at the same time, we know what we got to do. We know motivation. Stuff like that. So it is what it is.
Right, you guys have plenty of. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't look too deep into those, so I was just.
You guys have plenty of internal motivation as it is, right? You guys are all striving to be the best you can be. What's the easiest thing about blocking for Tom? What's the hardest thing about blocking for Tom so far in your 3-year career?
I think these two kind of go hand in hand. Is I know where he's going to be in the pocket, and at the same time, a lot of defenders know where he's going to be in the pocket too. He's not a scramble quarterback. He's not. I don't know. He's not
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, incredibly mobile, but he gets out and around sometimes. But I know where he's going to be. And the defensive ends know where he's going to be too, so they kind of have to take the same track. They, some guys just trying to run around the edge because they know where he's going to be at 7 or 8 yards. So I think those two kind of go hand in hand. It's nice for me knowing where he's at, but also they know where he's at too.
Right. Well, even though they know where he's going to be at, where he's going to be at, you're still doing your thing out there. I mean, I'm going to rattle some things off. All-Pro, Pro Bowl, top 100, ranked number 2 on ESPN's top 100 listed tackles. You're in your 3rd year. You hear people calling you one of the best tackles in the game. How does that make you feel?
I think it's pretty nice. It is what it is. I feel there's a lot of good tackles out there. A lot of just a lot of freaks. Trent Williams, Lane Johnson, David Bakhtiari, Andrew Thomas. Just all these guys that.
You're naming left tackles though. Those right tackles.
I mean, still Ryan Ramczyk for the Saints. All these. Right. Brian O'Neill for the Vikings. It's so cool getting to watch all these guys. And just see them ball out on Sundays. And I watch some of their tape. See what they're doing. Watched a lot of Lane Johnson's tape. See what he does. Just because these guys are just freaks. So it's awesome to watch. And it's nice to hear that stuff about hear good things about yourself. But Marshall Yanda, Coach Ferentz told me a story of Marshall Yanda. I think it was my freshman or sophomore year. He said, Marshall will stop looking at Twitter and stuff and stop. I can't remember what year it was, but he because he got a big head about it. It's nice hearing people talk all this good stuff about you, and then you're like, oh, my shit don't stink, kind of.
Right.
So I do my best not to look at that.
Is it surreal though? A little bit though.
Say what?
Is it a little surreal though?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Coming up, as in high school, and then going to Iowa, then coming in, and now you look at what's being wrote about you, what's being said about you, the praise. Is that kind of ever wow, I still can't believe this.
Oh my God, yeah. I never would have thought any of that stuff. I remember, coming out of high school, I had 2 offers. I had Iowa and Iowa State. I went going to Iowa. Was I thought that was incredible. I was so excited, and then it just everything just started happening so quick. And now we're here, and it's just been so fun. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you've reached everything really there is kind of to do in the NFL. There's still a long way to go, but I mean, All Pro, Pro Bowl, Super Bowl. What's left on your goals? What's left on your achievement list? What else are you trying to accomplish?
I'm just trying to be I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. I got a 45-year-old quarterback back there. I'm trying to do my best to keep him safe every week. He's out there, doing his best for us, and my job is to keep him safe. So that's all I'm trying to do. Really, like right now, I'm just that's what I think about. Before every game and going and before every series. Just keep him upright. Keep him safe. Um, but I feel like there's a ton of stuff that I'd love to keep accomplishing. I don't even know off the top of my head right now. Like obviously, I think everyone's goal is to win a Super Bowl and all this dog.
It's all right. We love them.
Um, obviously to win another Super Bowl. I think like it's always nice, personal accolades and stuff, but you can't really do. I don't want to say do much with them because they're incredible. They're so much fun to achieve and everything. But I think
It's a team game.
Say what?
It's a team game.
Yeah, there's 11 guys out there, trying to win a game, and I'm just trying to do my best to do my role, and that's to protect Tom and open up holes for our running backs. So that's what I think about.
I hate to bring up another sore subject, but I saw you in blue and orange this past week.
Yeah.
Had a bet with Duke. What happened there? What was the opposite of the bet if you had won that?
He had to wear Hawkeye stuff. So me and Anthony Nelson were in that bet. And yeah, we had to wear blue and orange. That one stung.
I can only imagine. Now, I talked about it a second ago, bringing up your wrestling career. Obviously, wrestling has a huge spot in your heart. We saw you during the Olympics cheering your guy on.
Oh, yeah.
And there's another wrestler who, and this is one of the questions I was interested in asking you. Obviously, different position, a little bit older than you, but Stephen Neal, former wrestler, came into the Patriots, never playing football in college, and turned out to be a really good guard for that team for a long period of time. Was he someone that you kind of looked up to as a wrestler and as a football player, and playing both of those sports at the same time?
So I didn't really know. I guess I don't even know how to say it. Like, I didn't know a ton of people that were like that had in the NFL that were like wrestlers. Like it wasn't something that I like really paid attention to. But I know like I just seen something on Twitter the other day about Austin Blythe. He's plays for the Seahawks now. An Iowa guy, was like a 3-time heavyweight state champ in Iowa. Was like 180-1 was his record. That was somebody that I like looked up to growing up. Like
Right.
from a school that like I had played growing up. I mean he was he's older than me, but I still played Williamsburg. In football, wrestling, track, baseball, like everything. And so seeing that was just incredible. Like that type of stuff doesn't happen. Like he was a 4-time finalist, 3-time state champ, like at heavyweight in Iowa. Like that's ridiculous.
And then he goes on to have a career in the NFL.
Yeah, goes to Iowa. I'm pretty sure he's like a 3-year starter at Iowa. Been in the league for a while now. So it's just like he said it. I've said it a bunch. Like how much wrestling translates over to football. Like it's insane. Like I don't think there's a better sport that translates.
Well, that was my next question. How much has that wrestling background helped you in football?
It tremendously. Like I feel, especially like offense and defensive line wise, like the balance, the hand control, just the grappling in general. Like that's what you're doing every play, pretty much. The awareness. It's just like so much stuff that translates from wrestling to football. It's insane.
I know. Obviously, you're here in the NFL, but if that didn't work out, where it was wrestling something, I know you're not a big WWE fan, but is wrestling something that you would have maybe pursued, maybe at like a world competition level, or maybe even at Olympic level, or was that just kind of something that you did in cognition with football?
Oh geez, that's a good one. I don't think wrestling would have been I think my number 2 was baseball for a long time. Like that was like I loved that. And then I think my number 2 after baseball was probably track. Like I would have loved to have been able to like
What was your sport?
shot. I threw shot and disc. So like I would have loved to have been, you know, an Olympic shot putter. Like that would have been amazing. I would have loved that.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Represent your country. I was
Mm-hmm.
saying, you never know. I mean, you achieve everything you want in 10 years, and you're still young enough to go out for that. Hey, you never know.
Like you just get right back into it.
Right, exactly. So in the NFL, we talked about how much that balance hand control helps you with wrestling. You've got the least pressures in the NFL through six weeks. I don't know if you knew that stat. But how much pride do you take in that? How much pride do you take in your pass blocking? Obviously, you say you've got some work to do in the run blocking, but I don't know how much more you have left to do in the pass blocking. You're pretty dang spot on with that.
So I think the thing I take pride in is just keeping Tom safe. Like I was saying a little bit ago, like that's what I, every drive, before every game, that's just what I'm thinking about. So, I feel like you got to take stuff personal. Like if giving up a pressure, or giving up a hit, or giving up a sack, or whatever it is, you got to take it personal, and you can't let it happen. That's how I think. I assume that's how most tackles think about it. Like, oh, it's not going to happen again. You just got to keep working and working, so it doesn't. But no, that's pretty cool.
You rattled off some when we were talking about some of the best tackles. You rattled off a few of those left tackles first. Is that something that you want to try out at some point? Is that one of your, do you have a desire to play left tackle at some point in your career?
It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I feel really comfortable at right. That's what I played in college. I remember my junior year, our left tackle got hurt, and so I had to go over and play left and kind of flip flop back and forth for the first quarter, first half of the year that year. But I feel really comfortable at right now, and it doesn't really it doesn't really matter to me. I know
Right.
I've been I like it over on the right.
All right. All right. Yeah. Something where you're comfortable. Obviously, we know talking to Luke how difficult that transition can be
Oh
from the
yeah.
right side to the left side. When you're using certain skill sets, certain hands, certain dropbacks, everything, it can be difficult. And you're one hell of a right tackle. So why move?
Yeah.
Stay there. I want to preface this by saying I think Bob's done a really Robert Hainsey, for anyone who doesn't. I feel like I can call him Bob now. Does a really good job. And I think he's really kind of shown through the last couple of weeks. But do you think the line lost some of its nastiness, some of its aggressiveness with Jensen not being in there? We're talking about a guy who bullies guys like who's the guy for the Eagles? Fletcher Cox.
Oh.
Like that's not something that a normal person would do, but Ryan Jensen is bullying Fletcher Cox. Have you missed some of that aggressiveness from him?
So I think everyone knows that's what Ryan brings to the table. Just that mean nastiness, and that's what he's known for, and that's what we love him for. And me and Hainsey have talked quite a bit. Like
he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, not him. Like he can be. Well, he has been. An incredible leader. In it, like I don't want to say in his own way because that sounds weird, but like he's not that. I'm not. I'm not mean and nasty. So like I feel like. I think definitely we lost that with Jensen being out, and then I feel like Luke's kind of bringing that a little bit. Like he's kind of the dude like talking crap and everything and doing that, but not on Jensen's level yet. Like just it's hard, when you have that much of a presence, you lose that big of a presence, But yeah, I'm not like that. Haynes is not like that. So we're trying to, lead in our own way and lead within your personality. You don't want to change for anything. So just doing our best to I don't even know, to lead with our personalities.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Talking about Jensen, obviously I don't need you to break any news here, but getting the sense of him, how bad is he itching to get out there? And do you think that you might have him out there at some point this season?
Oh, I know he's probably just itching to get back. And I honestly have no idea what his timeline is or if there is a timeline. I see him getting, every couple times a week getting treatment and stuff. We'll just shoot the shit and, and talk. But I don't know about a timeline or what, but I know he's probably just just itching to get back.
Right, I know. I mean, he's such a huge loss on that second day of camp. But like I said, Bob's been doing a really good job in his own way to take that place. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if he does come back at some point because of how well Bob's played. But obviously, Luke is still getting that. You've got quite of a logjam at that lineman in that position there. But that's the topic for another day. Carolina is up next. You've faced Brian Burns quite a few times. What does he bring to the table that you have to prepare for?
Oh, he's so quick. He's so quick, so explosive, so fast. He can get in a crazy get off. You got to be ready for a spin from him. So yeah, I always know that one's gonna be. That's always the fun one. I've gone against him four times now, and he's always just. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's cool, like the relationship we've built kind of over these past couple of years. But yeah, I know it's gonna be a battle. I know it's gonna be fun against him.
You might have to do a jersey swap because there's rumors around Carolina everyone's for sale. So hopefully, for your sake, for that battle for the next game later down the line, he's out of there.
Yeah.
But that's awesome that you guys have. Football is such a weird sport because you build these and to fans like they're rivals. These guys, they're your division rivals. You're not supposed to like them, but the players. I mean, unless you're Lattimore and Mike or Lattimore and Mike and Michael Thomas and Davis. There's some love there between the players, and you respect each other's game. So that's awesome that you guys have. This is a big game though for a few different reasons. Obviously, you got to bounce back from this tough loss that you guys just had. You'd move to 3-0 in the division, giving you quite a lead on that division, and also kind of just to get right in all aspects of the game. A lot of people, including myself, thought this past game was a game where we would see the team get right, on offense and defense. Fast starts for both of them, which is something that I know has been a big point of emphasis. Playing 4 quarters of football, which I know is something that you guys have been talking about. But this is another opportunity to do that against a team that's probably going to start PJ Walker again. Never overlook an opponent. I'm sure you guys aren't doing that, especially not after last week. If some of you guys were, but how big is this game to kind of to check off all those boxes?
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge, just especially after this week, and just to hopefully get back on track. I know we're going to come to work ready to go on Wednesday, and just I know everyone's going to be locked in for sure.
Now you've got this game coming up against Carolina with Brian Burns. The following week is a short week of rest. You play the Ravens. Former friend over there, JPP's now on that side. How do you prepare and how do you change your preparation based on the pass rush you're about to face in that next matchup?
I mean, not a whole lot. Like I'll still, got to watch tape on them, and I think that week, Coach Gilbert does a good job of asking us what we want to get, like what we're gonna get, based on the rusher, and we know JPP's a long, lanky guy. He's just some of the stuff, the way he can move is just crazy. So, I know me and Donnie will make sure, we get what we need, in individual, based on what we're going to see that week. So, it's going to be good.
You think you guys going to step up a little bit for that one? Like, oh, JP, now we're not in practice. Now it's go time, because he's going to try to get the best of you. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
Stand up over there.
My rookie year, JPP and Shaq were just like harassing me my rookie year in camp. I was like, what's going on?
What am I doing here? But you still held on to. I mean, that was the best crash course to get in there. I mean, that rookie year was sensational. Just 1 sack allowed to just a guy named Khalil Mack. No big deal. Just a bum pass rusher. But let's get to some more of the fun questions. We kind of broke it up a little bit there. One of my colleagues wants to know, are you still jumping out of pools for fun?
No, I haven't done that. No, I think my rookie year was the last time I did that.
What goes into that? Like, how many takes was that happen? Is like how shallow are you in, like 3.5, 4 feet? Like what's that all about?
The first one that I did in college, it was just 2 takes. Like we're at the pool just hanging out in the summer, and I think I was one of our running backs was like, oh, like I saw this on Twitter or Instagram or something. And he's like, let's try it. So we all tried it, and I like got up out of the pool, but I fell back in, and
You're like, I got this. I got this. Next
yeah, somebody record this, and then I got it. And then just after that, it was just I could just do it.
Party trick.
Yeah, I think it was like usually it's like 3.5 feet. I think I've tried 4, and I'm close, or I was close to getting 4, but I never did. So yeah, it's always 3.5.
And obviously the commercial with you carrying the log. All right, you do that for fun often when you go back back to Iowa.
Oh, well, that was for Carhartt. That was up in Oregon. That was a ton of fun. But they just said they're like, oh, or they asked if I could like pick it up, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, we'll see. And so
give it a try.
Yeah, and then I did, and they're like, oh, stay there, and everything. I was like, all right.
This is gold. This is amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of a lot of fun, I was kind of jealous of you. We've had our discussions over the past couple of weeks here. You just started Game of Thrones, just finished Game of Thrones for the first time. I started rewatching it with you, and it was a blast rewatching it. Not gonna lie, but as a first-time watcher of Game of Thrones, what was your favorite scene of the show? What blew you away? Like, wow, this is, and what kind of got you hooked on it too?
Oh my gosh, my favorite scene.
So much.
Wow. I don't even know. I can't even think of a favorite. What got me hooked though, so Hainsey was like telling me for weeks, like he's like, you need to watch. He's like, you need to start Game of Thrones. I was like, I don't know, because I never like got on the train. I never like I'd never watched it. I'd never seen anything about it. I knew nothing. And he's like, it's a miracle that you don't know anything.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know. And
well, to your defense, you were a little younger too when it first came out too. I think it came out in like 2010 or something like that.
Yeah. And I remember guys watched it when I was in college, and I was like, I just didn't. I don't know. It was crazy just how I'd never seen anything. And then after weeks of telling me, I was like, okay, fine, I'll start it. And I don't know. I just remember like the first couple episodes, and I was like this is incredible. Like,
right.
And then they just started like killing people off, and I'm happening. And I was like,
he's a main character.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And so then I like, we'd come to work, and then I'd like tell Hainsey about where I was at, or half the time I would just FaceTime him like while stuff was going on. I was like, what is this? Like, this can't be happening. And it was the 4th episode,
Right.
He's like, yeah, it just gets better and better. So I was just, it's probably my number 1 show of all time now.
It is. Even the last season was ruined a little bit. It's still so good. And like, I boycotted it after that last season. This is my first time rewatching it. I didn't even rewatch season 8. And usually I rewatch it again, like right after. Like, all right, let's see if I missed anything. I was so upset I didn't, but rewatching it just drove home for me. Like, I'm mad it's done. Like, I want to watch more. And I've started House of Dragons. And like, we've got one more episode of that. And I'm like, no, what am I going to do now?
I gotta watch that too.
I need that fixed. But I get you about the whole not paying attention to Game of Thrones. I was that way for The Office. In fact, when I lived with my roommate before I married my wife and everything, we had like a finished basement and everything. I'd go downstairs, he'd be down there watching. I'm like, you're watching The Office? Great. I'm out of here. I'm just gonna go watch something wherever. So, and now I've watched The Office maybe 6 or 7 times through, like front to back. Like, I'm like, I don't know what I was missing. I don't know why I was so resistant to that. But yeah, it's been great. You got to get on House of Dragons now that you can kind of bang them all out before Sunday too.
Yeah,
it's awesome. But I want to ask you real quick before we get into this draft, and we went back and forth on this, so I'm excited to see who you've got. But what's something we might not know about you that we haven't heard in the media, we haven't heard coming out of the draft or in college? What's something that we might not know?
Oh my gosh, something I might not know. Oh my goodness.
Like I said earlier, Jamel Dean is a truck, like a trucking driver company owner. Like, like anyone would think that when they look at Jamel Dean that he'd own a trucking company.
That's crazy. That's a hard one. Oh my goodness. Something people don't know. Well, I have a crazy dog. That's probably one.
Doggo.
Something people don't know. Oh my goodness.
Any hidden talents?
I can juggle. I don't know how.
Okay. No, but
That's not a very good one though.
That's still good though. I would have never expect that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring some juggling balls into practice tomorrow.
Yeah, my mom taught me how to juggle.
That's awesome.
I don't know. That's a really good one.
We'll go to the draft, and then if you can think of something while we're doing the draft, we'll come back to an end with it.
Perfect.
Okay, so now the time we've been waiting for, one of the fun parts on this draft. I started it last week with Lenny, didn't give him a heads up, so it was kind of all over the place, but you got the heads up. We decided the topic together, and we're going to be drafting today Marvel superheroes. So we're going to Marvel superheroes. Are we drafting anti-heroes? I messaged you. I never got back. Like Venom, Daredevil, Punisher, are those guys, they kill, but they're heroes.
I know. I think just like original Marvel.
Okay, let's go original Marvel. You are the guest, so you get the first pick. And you, sir, are on the clock. Let me get the... With your first pick, Mr. Wirfs, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, how did I not know you'd take someone like the Incredible Hulk, a big dude like you?
He was my favorite. Well, he still is my favorite, but growing up, he was I love the Hulk.
Okay. All right. That kind of throws off my draft process a little bit, but I'm going to go here. I'm going to go outside the Avengers, and I'm going to take Wolverine, one of my all-time favorites, especially cool. In any video game. He's absolutely banging because he's just a brute with his claws, and then he can re-heal. So like, he's great.
That's a really good one.
All right, that's the last time I'm going to do that, but you're up.
My second pick, I'm taking Spider-Man. I had so many Spider-Man video games. I had so many video games. The Hulk and Spider-Man were always my top two.
Oh man. Dang it. Those are my 2-3 picks. I'm gonna go with Thor. I'm gonna take Thor here at number 2.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. Good pick.
All right, you're back up for round 3.
Round three. I'm taking. I don't know if it's the Beast or Beast, but from X-Men.
Beast from X-Men. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a sleeper pick. Genius intellect, super strength. All right. I'm going to stick with X-Men here, and I'm going to go with one of my personal favorites, fan favorite. I'm going to grab Gambit here.
Wow.
Gambit. I think it could be a reach, but I think Gambit has a big enough following that might I might grab that. I don't know. Gambit versus Beast. I feel comfortable with Gambit there.
Wow.
Back to you for round 4.
That's actually a really good one.
Thank you. I had him. He was one of my all-time favorites. Watching the shows growing up, I loved Gambit. I thought he was awesome. His cool little Cajun accent, throwing the playing cards with a big staff, and he rocked the heck out of Magenta like no dude's ever done it.
Oh
besides Dwayne Wade.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. So what is number 4?
Round 4. So far, you have Hulk, Spider-Man, and Beast.
Hulk, Spider-Man, and Beast. Oh my gosh. I got to go Iron Man.
Oh no. I was hoping I'd get him.
Iron Man movies.
Damn. You know what? I don't want him. I can't let you get both of these guys. I can't. I don't want him here. I wanted to see if I could sneak Iron Man back in right here, but I can't let you get Iron Man and then cap it out with Captain America. I have to take Captain America here, even though I don't want to take Captain America. I got to do it. So Captain America is my 4th pick. It's on you for your 5th and final pick. Who you going with? Where you're going at?
That was gonna be my last. That was gonna be my last.
I know it was. I can't let you have Hulk, Spidey, Iron Man, and Captain America. I can't.
You can't let me have all that.
I mean, at least there might be more. Cap versus Iron Man was a thing, right? So I mean, maybe I'll lean towards those Cap guys more than the Iron Man guys. I don't know, but I'm an Iron Man guy over a Cap guy myself. But you got him, so good for you.
Okay, this might be no. Okay, I won't go that. I won't go that. Can I take the Scarlet Witch for number 5?
No! Look at it. She's right there. No, Tristan, you kill me. No. Oh, no. Oh, man. Dang it. You robbed me the last 2.5 picks. Oh. OP. She's so strong. She's probably the strongest hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I've got a good draft class.
Oh my God! You just stole her from me. I need a second to regroup. I thought I had her sleeper in the final pick of the draft. Oh my goodness, Tristan. I don't know if we can be friends after this. You know what? I'm gonna. No. I'm just gonna. Shit. I'm just gonna go with my fan favorite. One of my fan favorites. All right. I need a heavy to compete with your Hulk. Although I have heavies with Wolverine and Thor. Oh, this is tough, Tristan. This is tough.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you here forever though. I'm just gonna make a pick. He was one of my favorite guys growing up. I'm just going to take him. I'm going to go with Colossus.
Good pick.
He might not be like everyone's fan favorite or cup of tea, and I don't think many people knew about him until Daredevil.
He's Deadpool up there for me. That's it.
But man, those old video games playing with him, he just went, and all the villains just went everywhere. I really like Colossus. He's always been one of my favorite guys. So to recap, Tristan probably won this draft with a team of Hulk, Spider-Man, Beast, Iron Man, and Scarlet Witch in the 5th round. And I drafted Wolverine, Thor, Gambit. I forget my 4th. Oh, Captain America, and then rounded out with Colossus. So that was our draft. Good stuff there, Tristan. I can't believe you stole Scarlet Witch at 5. That was I gotta watch this back and see my reaction because I was literally all natural. Did you think of something that we might not know?
I couldn't. I feel like nowadays, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. I don't do anything crazy.
Right.
I think maybe one would be I love movies. I'm a huge, I think me and Bob's the only other person I know that
Cinephiles.
Yeah, it's just crazy that have seen the same movies and stuff. I'm I didn't think anyone knew about that, and so yeah, I love movies.
And you started The Hobbit, right? You're starting the Lord of the Rings journey now.
No, I'm trying to get him to start that. I love Lord of the Rings. I've seen all those. I've seen them 100 times. I'm trying to get.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Bob has it. Have you watched Rings of Power?
Not yet. I haven't watched Rings.
Oh, bro, yes, you need to get on that. We've got some talking to do once you get on that in House of Dragons. Those have been great. Tristan, I want to thank you for your time, man. You went way over what I thought we were going, what we originally had planned, but I think we had some really good conversation. Absolutely. Back and forth. So still can't believe you stole Scarlet Witch from me. But with that being said, guys, this is another edition of Touchback Tuesdays. We'll be back with a brand new guest next week. We want to thank Tristan for his time, amazing time that he spent with us. He's your all-pro right tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, protecting Tom Brady's in the pocket, and he's doing a damn good job of it so far. So with that being said, we are out of here. Out.